You mean to tell me that Anna's family is also involved in organized crime?
It's not as black and white as that, Emily. During Prohibition, our families started working together, creating bootleg liquor when it was illegal.
But it wasn't just about the liquor. That was just the beginning.
Together, we made much more money than you could ever imagine. But things started to change. When Prohibition ended, we needed other ways to maintain our income. That's when we decided to create Taylor Pharmaceuticals.
So, the pharmaceutical company, is it just a front?
Not entirely. It's a legitimate company. We produce real medicine and save real lives. But yes, underneath that, we also used it as a front.
We started running drugs from South America during the 80s under the guise of pharmaceutical imports. But they were far from legal.
And why are you telling me this now?
Because we've kept you in the dark for too long. It's time you knew.
If everything was going well, why cut ties with the Murphys?
Things were not going well, Emily. Our families have always been ambitious, competitive even. But the Murphys, they started playing dirty.
They crossed a line. A little over 10 years ago, they betrayed our trust. We've had a mutual hatred ever since.
And then Anna, a Murphy, magically reappeared in our lives through James, bringing all that animosity right to our doorstep.
But if Anna is a threat, why are we hiding the truth from her? Why not confront her and tell her we won't be manipulated?
Because that would be like poking a sleeping bear. The Murphys are volatile. They would retaliate if they knew one of theirs had been outsmarted.
And we need to avoid that at all costs. We're not in the business of starting wars.
So what do we do now?
We stay vigilant and keep our secret. And do everything we can to protect this family.
Always. Family first. Always.
Promise me. Both of you promise me you'll keep this secret until the time is right.
We promise, Dad.
We promise, Grandpa.
Thank you.
But Grandpa, how can we protect ourselves from Anna? She's crafty and she'll do anything to get what she wants.
My study. There's a false bottom in the bottom left drawer of my desk. You'll find a key there. Go to the globe next to the bookcase and you'll find a keyhole where Papua New Guinea should be. It's a safe, and you'll find useful evidence against Anna and the Murphys. It's everything you'll need if she tries anything.
How is he so unfazed? What else does he know?
But remember, do not open this unless necessary. Once the cat is out of the bag, there's no putting it back.
Being assured that Emily and Mark had understood what he said, Grandpa Taylor closed his eyes. Emily and Mark exited the room, heading for the mansion, while another danger was looming around. From the end of the corridor, Anna was looking at Grandpa's room when Nurse Richards approached her.
To what do I owe the pleasure of this surprise visit, Miss Murphy?
No time to play around, Nurse Richards. Are you ready?
Are you sure about this?
Are you asking for moral reasons or professional ones? I believe this much money should answer your question.
Oh, it most certainly does.
On behalf of the Murphys, thank you for your discretion.
Miss Murphy, I wonder if I might impose a favor.
A favor? On top of your generous cash payment?
It's about my brother. He owes the Murphys a debt. From a while ago.
The professional gambler! Such a talent, yet he's taken 15 years to repay a simple debt. Interest does accumulate, Nurse Richards. He should have thought about that.
He's sick, Miss Murphy. Been in and out of the hospital himself.
And whose fault is that? Maybe if you're so keen on clearing his debt, you should consider giving him a taste of Mr. Taylor's medicine. Can you get your head in the game, Nurse Richards, or should I find someone else?
I can.
Good! Get on it now. And remember, Murphys are not kind to failure.
Nurse Richards quietly entered Grandpa Taylor's room, tightly holding the syringe. She looked at the old man laying still, took a deep breath, and injected the insulin, administering a dose far beyond what anyone could handle, and left with a smirk on her face.
I suppose it's too late for regrets now. Well done. I'm far too deep now to back out.
Time of death, 2:37 a.m.
Goodbye, Mr. Taylor.
Oblivious to the happenings at the hospital, Emily and Mark reached home. On her way to the bedroom, Emily sees Tom sleeping on the sofa in the living room and goes in.
Tom?
Oh, Emily. I must have dozed off. How are you holding up?
I've got some disturbing news.
What is it, Em?
I found out Anna is a Murphy. Does that name mean anything to you?
The Murphys. I've heard rumors about them. You need to tread carefully, Emily.
The Taylor family and the Murphys were long-standing partners in some shady business.
Partners?
Emily swallowed and shared everything Grandpa Taylor had told about their connection with the Murphys in a go and ended up crying. Tom held her hand and tried to console her.
I won't let anything happen to you, Em.
But how can you say that, Tom? We're dealing with criminals here.
Because you're not alone. We're in this together.
Tom holds her hand and tries to console her. Emily and Tom locked their eyes, and fear gave way to a deeper connection. Their proximity ignited a tension they couldn't ignore.
Emily, we'll figure out all of this.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you being here. You've been an incredible friend.
Just a friend, Em?
Tom, I should check on James. How are you feeling?
Exactly how a person feels after getting the shit beat out of them.
I went to the hospital. Grandpa wasn't faking his sickness, James. He has late-stage liver cancer.
What?
I'm sorry, James. I didn't want to believe it either. The doctors confirmed it. He doesn't have much time.
I thought he was exaggerating. I thought he was just being dramatic again.
I know, James, I know. I also thought it was another one of his manipulative games, but it's not.
He's dying, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
I can't believe it. I was so sure he was faking it, Em. How could I think that about him?
You are not terrible, James. You're just human. And he was your grandpa. Of course you hoped it wasn't true.
Silence enveloped the room. James was trying to suppress his tears, while Emily gave him space to process his emotions.
There's more.
What do you mean?
Grandpa, he was trying to protect us, the family. He wrote us both out of his will.
Protect us? From what?
From the Murphys.
The Murphys? As in Anna?
Yes.
But what does that have to do with the will?
Grandpa thought Anna wanted the Taylor fortune. She targeted you, knowing he was sick. Grandpa wrote us out of the will to keep the fortune out of her hands, to protect us.
She played with us. She played with all of us. What's going on?
Grandpa Taylor. He's gone. What do you mean he's gone?
He passed away.
Shocked by the news, Emily crumbles and is saved by James, whose face was pale as the reality of their grandfather's death sunk in. With Grandpa gone, how will things turn out for Emily and James? What is Anna's next move? Will the Taylor family be able to overcome this loss, or are things going to get worse for them?
Hi, Emily here. Hope you are loving Sweet Little Lies. Keep following us as we release a new episode of Season 1 daily on YouTube. You can jump the queue and unlock all seasons of the audio series by installing the Pocketfm app now. Just click on the link in the description. To watch the next episode of Season 1, tap here, and to watch the full Season 1, click on the playlist.